Hey everyone, welcome to this week's recap of Survival Worlds Apart.
All right, Dan is living a lie. He's the bottom of his alliance, and he thinks he's A-okay.
He thinks he's right in there.
Top
but
six,
he's
top
not.
six, top six.
Yeah, so Shireen is still bummed about what happened with Will last week.
That was really, really bad and uncalled for.
And he hasn't apologized either.
And Dan is like, yeah, I'm sorry whatever happened to you, but you're playing the victim card and you still
Well, he didn't
suck.
say that to her face.
No.
He was trying to be like, oh, let's talk about it. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then in his diary session, he was just like, she's a victim. Bleh.
You know what? He's probably just as bad as Will, if not worse.
Seems like he's trying to work those potential jury votes. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Could be. Well, it's time for the reward challenge.
Woo!
2 teams of 4, playground pick. There's 3 sections, and the floor is lava.
Yeah, so they have these barrels to work with and these planks. So you have to use the barrels and the planks to get across the course. But if you or your planks touch the ground, the lava, you have to go back to the beginning of that section.
Right. Oh, man, this was a tough one.
This looks tough, yeah.
But the reward is pretty sweet. It's a cheeseburger party.
with pie for dessert.
Oh.
I'll take that.
All right, so Mike, Rodney, Sierra, and Shireen are all on one team.
They had some weird-ass strategy. They were using the barrels
On the side.
on their side, like rolling them, and Mike was doing all of the work. The other 3 were like standing on this one barrel, and he was like freaking stretching his whole body across like 3 barrels.
I thought he was on Bring It or something, doing some weird battle
and then he was
stands.
like on 2 of them, and he like almost did a split. He saved a lot of falls too. There was some real near falls there.
All right, well, Dan and Tyler and Carolyn and Will were on the other team. And they went the traditional route. They put the barrels upright and they used the planks.
Is there a traditional route here?
Yes.
Okay.
They put them upright and they used the planks as like little balance beams going across.
So maybe you can't get as far with each one, but you're not using as much energy.
Right. And Mike was actually doing really well, but then his planks touched the ground.
And he got super tired, and he was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You guys need to actually do something.
So Sierra's like, I'm a barrel racer. So she's used to like walking on barrels.
She's like, let's all just hop on a barrel and do this. And they were okay for a while.
It probably would have worked if they had tried that from the beginning and
Maybe.
like had a little learning curve there, you know, because I think they probably could have done it.
Maybe.
But too little, too late. The other team won.
They ended up falling, and it just wasn't happening.
Well, Rodney was pretty bummed out.
Yeah.
He's never won a reward challenge.
That's rough. So Dan was like, oh, I feel bad for them. I feel really bad for Rodney. And then Jeff was like, well, you could give up your spot on this reward. Yeah, he doesn't feel that bad. Come on.
Never mind. You look away, look away. You didn't hear anything.
All right, so back at camp, the losers, they're bummed out. They decide, you know what, we're going to treat ourselves, eat another chicken. And I'm all like, no.
At least Mike apologized to the chicken. He did it as best he could, I suppose.
All right. Well, Sierra's thinking about making some moves here. It's getting close to the end. You got to take out some big threats. So she's talking to Rodney, and she's like, Tyler's got to go. He's a strong threat, and he's going to get votes in the end.
You should keep Shireen because
She's not
nobody's
going to
vote for her in the end. She's just, you drag her along. She's a pawn.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I want to take out Mike and Shireen.
Talking to him is like talking to a sponge.
Or Dom Mazzetti.
All right, well, it's reward time, and they are on the boat ride.
Beautiful catamaran.
And they have mile-high cheeseburgers.
Those things were freaking huge.
Holy crap, they looked amazing. It was
my
like
God.
artisan cheeseburgers and fancy drinks. I didn't see the pie, but whatever.
Well, Dan was all about this reward. He's got his beloved cheeseburgers.
I'm in the top 6.
And he's happy with the people that he's there with. He's like, this is my alliance. It's great.
And freaky deaky Tyler is just there like...
Tyler's always just like...
He's got some evil, evil eyes. That was very good, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
So Tyler is just like, yeah, Dan sucks, but he's just thinking, I want to make it to the top 6. He's not thinking anywhere past that. So he's like, okay, we'll get him to the top 6 and then cut him.
Ah. All right, it's time for the immunity challenge, and it's another endurance. It's the old hold the spindle with the rope wrapped around it. That's holding 25% of your body weight.
From day 1, not your
Ouch.
body weight now. So it's going to be heavier.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's probably more like 40% of your body weight.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But as it unravels,
A bucket of water will drop on your head when it finally is all
well, I was going to say
done.
the bag lowers, so it becomes
Right.
even harder to hold it up.
But there's a little treat here. There's 2 immunities this week. One
What?
for men, one for women.
All right. So Sierra was the first one out after 15 minutes.
That's pretty exemplary.
That's a long time.
It is a long time because Jeff said that usually it lasts about half an hour, so it's pretty good. At least she wasn't out after like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Tyler went out right after that, and Will, and then Dan.
Yeah, so for the
Pretty
women,
close.
it came down to Carolyn and Shireen.
And that Carolyn, as the weeks go on, she reminds me more and more of a vulture.
Oh.
She's just like,
Yeah, she does make the stank face a lot.
yep.
All right, so Carolyn was the winner for the women.
I felt bad for Shireen. That would have
Me
been
too.
awesome.
It would
if
have
she
been
had won.
amazing.
And then it came down to Rodney versus Mike. And Mike is a freaking competition beast.
Yeah, but it was like so weird because creepy Dan was giving this pep talk to Rodney. I would have been like, shut up! I'm trying to think!
It was really, there's no other word for it other than creepy.
Now just keep holding on.
He's twitching. He's twitching. He's twitching.
Going. Ah! So Mike ended up winning immunity for the men.
And we actually cheered in the living room.
So both winners this week also have hidden immunity idols
Wow.
tucked away.
Well, the evils wanted Mike out.
But now he's got immunity, so they've got to pick somebody else. And the
Plan
obvious
B.
plan B is Shireen.
So Shireen, she's campaigning to Dan. She's campaigning to Sierra.
It's like, yo, Tyler, big threat. This is the chance that we can take him out. Come on.
Why would you get rid of me? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. Get rid of somebody who's actually a big player in the game while you can.
Right. So Tyler knows, obviously, that he's a huge threat. He's got to make some moves.
So creepy.
He wants to know what the advantage is that Dan
Yeah.
got.
So he looks in Dan's bag.
Ah!
I absolutely hate this. I know it's not against the rules,
It's
but
just
I
creepy.
absolutely
It's weird.
hate it.
Ugh, it makes me uncomfortable.
It should be like the honor system. You shouldn't be going through other people's
Hey,
bags.
people are gonna do what they're gonna do. So Tyler's like, whoa, Dan gets 2 votes. That's crazy. So he takes that information back to Carolyn.
All right. Well, Dan is talking to Mike, and he's like, "I'm afraid." To Mike, he's like, "What if you whip out an idol for Shireen? Then my alliance is screwed. You could send me home." Sure could.
Do it. All right.
All right.
It's time for tribal council.
And Shireen is all alone.
They talked again about the whole Will Shireen confrontation from the last tribal council, and Jeff was just like, what the hell was that? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, she was in an abusive situation with her father, and because of the situation with her father,
It
she's
tore
not
her
very
whole
close
family
with her
apart.
mother either.
Yeah.
She's just close with her boyfriend and her friends.
So Dan was like, oh, well, I'm in a similar situation because I was adopted. So, like,
Jeff is like, it's completely different. Idiot.
yeah.
Completely
Come
different.
on now.
And Dan's like, well,
And Jeff was just like, stop.
yeah.
All right, so then we find out Will has still not apologized. And it was like Jeff was trying to pull that apology out of him, and it wasn't happening. You know why?
He's not sorry.
That's effed up.
That is really effed up. When you get home, I hope your wife smacks you across the face.
All right, so then it was time for Shireen to try and make a big move here.
She called out everybody. She's like, you have to get rid of Tyler.
No, she was like, Jeff, everyone here is about to make a huge mistake by voting me out.
Yeah. Get rid of Tyler. Do it. Don't be stupid.
So then Tyler was like, what? Me? Huh?
And Jeff is like, let me do the math for you. You can either be in the top 6 or you could win the game.
Could be time
What
to
would
make
you
a big
prefer?
move, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, this is where it gets freaking nuts. Mike is like, guess what? Shireen and I aren't going home tonight. He pulls out his freaking hidden immunity idol. He's like, Jeff, I'm playing this for Shireen, and Shireen is going to vote for Tyler, and I'm going to throw out a random vote.
A rando.
Yeah, the rest of you,
And suck it.
let's see what happens.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my God, it was so amazing.
We were going nuts. So it's time for the vote.
I think everyone crapped their pants.
I think so.
Oh my God, and the jury reactions were amazing.
Joe was like... So it's time for the vote, and I cannot believe that Mike did not use the idol.
You know, I thought he was
took a gamble.
I thought he was going to use it at first, and then I was just like, whoa, what if he doesn't use it, but he, like, already convinced everyone that he was, but...
Well, apparently he didn't convince everyone that
They called
he
his
was gonna
bluff.
Yeah, and Shireen was voted out.
Ah! That sucks. It was a huge letdown
It
after
was a
all that.
huge letdown. That could have been, like, the best thing ever, and he didn't play it.
Yeah.
Nah!
All right, but there were a bunch of people who voted for Dan, so that could cause some major drama next week.
Dan was the only other votes except for Tyler. So that to me says you're going to be the next one off if Mike's not.
He's got to realize he's
out.
at the bottom. He has to.
I think he does.
All right. Well,
All right.
let us know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments. Who are you rooting for?
Would you like to have seen Shireen stay? Yeah. I know I would have. So until next time,
Much love.
Edit.